Thanks for joining us this afternoon, everyone. I'm Ann McGill. One of the 8 people charged in last year's North Charleston public corruption scheme has now been sentenced. A Charleston judge sentenced 52-year-old Hassan Torrey Fields from Goose Creek to 1 year and 1 day in federal prison. He pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery with respect to programs receiving federal funds and honest services wire fraud, bribery with respect to programs receiving federal funds and honest service wire fraud as well. Now, court evidence shows Fields conspired with others to pay bribes to Sandino Moses, who was serving as a member of North Charleston City Council at the time. The bribes were part of an effort to secure his support for the rezoning of the Baker Hospital site. Fields is the first defendant to be sentenced in this public corruption scheme, which led to 8 being charged. All but one of those has pleaded guilty. Others are now awaiting their sentencing. One is awaiting trial.